put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb. Babe, I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
Okay, campers, rise and shine, and don't forget your booties, because it's cold out there today.
It's cold out there every day. What is this, Miami Beach?
Not hardly. You know, there's another reason why today is especially exciting.
Especially cold.
Especially cold, okay. But the big question on everybody's lips.
Yeah, they're chapped lips.
On their chapped lips,
Chapped
right.
lips.
Do you think Phil's gonna come out and see his shadow?
Punxsutawney Phil.
That's right, woodchuck chuckers. It's Groundhog Day! Get up and shake that hog out there!
Yeah! Come here, Groundhog!
Welcome to the Fabulous 413. I'm Khalees Smith.
And I'm Monty Belmonte. According to NPR, Punxsutawney Phil, the renowned groundhog who's been predicting when winter will end since 1887, says things are about to warm up.
On average, Phil has gotten it right 30% of the time over the past 10 years, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, as they said in an update on Friday.
Groundhogs are also called woodchucks, land beavers, or whistle pigs, which makes me wish we were doing a whistle pig whiskey tasting today.
Groundhogs also ate most of my garden this past year. We have a
dear.
little vendetta against them.
Yeah.
But instead, we'll take you to the Wine Thunderdome at State Street and taste two 20-ish-year-old Syrahs from very different terroirs.
And it's Live Music Friday. We welcome a band who'll play their final show ever tonight at Luthier's Co-op in East Hampton, the Colony Motel.
One person who is likely upset that the groundhog did not see his shadow and has predicted early spring is gold medal snow sculptor from Florence, Dave Rothstein.
You may remember Dave from when he joined us back in November after paddling a hollowed-out pumpkin 39 miles down the Connecticut River in an attempt to break the hitherto little-known world record of aquatic pumpkin travel.
Dave has just come back from Colorado, where he and his team took home the gold medal as well as the Artist's Choice and the People's Choice Award at last week's Breckenridge International Snow Sculpture Championships. He's actually brought the awards into the studio, and they are gorgeous.
They are gorgeous. They look like bottles of vodka or gin.
Yes.
They're very appropriate for snow sculpting.
Yes.
And you also brought one of the snow sculpting tools with you. Dave Rothstein from Florence, welcome back to the Fabulous 413.
It is my pleasure to be here.
Now, this is, first of all, the Pumpkin Feat was incredible. And I think one of my favorite moments of 2023 writ large, to just show what a weird place we live in. And you were at the epicenter, literally, of the pumpkin. But you had to travel to Colorado.
And join Team Mexico.
To win this championship.
That's right.
Yeah.
We go to the extremes to make good things happen.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't want to make any sort of assumptions, but Dave Rothstein from Florence might not be the first person you'd think of as part of Team Mexico. But talk about your allegiance to Team Mexico in these championships.
Sí, ¿cómo está?
Bien, ¿y tú?
I only speak a little Spanish.
Yeah.
And I think I got one or two phrases each day over last
Más
week.
nieve, más nieve.
So
Hielo, yeah?
Babbel and Duolingo are on my list for this year.
Oh, totally.
I'm part of an incredible subculture of snow carvers who carve all around the world. And it's this amazing cultural exchange. It sounds really weird. You have to be a little bit crazy. As you said, the epicenter of weirdness.
Yes.
And it's kind of a magical time. It's a little bit of the movie Frozen combined with the Olympics, combined with like an exchange program from high school.
I love it.
And so this year out at Breckenridge, we had teams from Mongolia and China and Korea. We had Team Mexico, and we had Ecuador from the southern more climes of the Americas.
Yeah. Is there a lot of ice in Ecuador?
There is not. So they get all their practice when they come to events, but they're all incredibly talented sculptors. And so what would take, up to a year to carve out a stone, you can do in 4 days with a team of 4. And so it's wonderful. And Team Mexico, my friend Carlos, who's the team captain there, and I have a long history of collaborating. We collaborated on one of the big hay sculptures over at Park Hill Orchard a couple of years ago with the big owls. He came up to help with that.
Wow.
And we've just been looking for an opportunity to sculpt snow together. So this was it. And we had kind of we called it the Tex-Mex team. We had 2 Americans, one from Minnesota, one from here, myself, and then 2 from Colima, Mexico, which is on the Pacific side, about halfway down, 2 hours from Guadalajara.
Amazing.
Do you train if you're in a warmer location, do you train by working with sand? I know it works differently, but like some of the ways that it holds up when you're sculpting are kind of similar. Is that like how they only train when they get up to Colorado to do this on the fly so fast and well?
Yeah, Carlos started his sculpting back in 2008 at Breckenridge, and he's traveled all over the world also. And so, during the season, there can be up to 5 or 6 different competitions that you're attending, so you get your practice in that way. He's an architect. We have someone on the team who's a trained artist. Myself, kind of like a self-trained artist. And yeah, I mean, we here get to practice with snow people and snow forts and everything else. And I feel like it's a very relatable medium in many ways. And what differentiates us from the person doing something in their yard is pushing snow to the extreme so that you have things that are hollowed out or have a lot of light entering it or have a hollow or a shadow, and trying to kind of have those risky situations where people say, is that all snow? There's an armature in there. Or do you spray it with water? How is that staying up?
But no.
But no. Yes, it's all snow.
We're speaking with Dave Rothstein, who is the triple threat hat trick winner from the Breckenridge International Snow Sculpture Championships just back this week. First, describe to us the block of snow that you are working with when you begin this sculpture, your tabula rasa.
Yes. So we all start with the same block of snow. It's 10 foot by 10 foot and 12 feet high, and it's about 42 pounds per square foot, which translates to about 50,000 pounds of snow per sculpture that you're moving around.
Amazing.
So we probably left about half of it there, but then we kind of reconfigured the other 25,000 into other things that are adorned around the sculpture. And you can build up. We built up about 4 feet on top of our block, so it was standing 16 feet tall, and it's all about having presence at that size.
Yeah.
And trying to have a showstopper at the same time, have a venue for a conversation with people who are coming by. But it's a lot of snow, and it's compacted. It's man-made snow that's compacted into a giant form. And people get into the form, and there are like 12 people inside stomping it down. And eventually they move all the way up to the top. And then they have a ladder and get down, and they peel the form off. And it's like a giant brick of styrofoam, but like really heavy, cold styrofoam. It gets very icy.
It was interesting to see your pictures of like the before of all the giant like 10 by 10 by 10 by 12 like bricks just out on the field, untouched and pristine as they were starting to get worked on too.
Yeah, except for the fact that somebody spray painted Mexico on your block, which is amazing because as we had mentioned, Dave sculpted with Team Mexico. The title of your sculpture that won the gold medal, the Triple Crown, 3 awards at this Breckenridge sculpture contest, is The Beggar. Tell us about The Beggar, what it's all about. And again, you're going to please go to our social media or go check out the website of this competition so that you'll be able to see this. But we'll use your mind, listener, to imagine what this sculpture looks like.
It was a dark and stormy night. It's a sinewy man who's emaciated, essentially, balancing on his heels and trying to lift a giant Bitcoin off the ground while he's sitting on a pile of giant Bitcoin surrounded by little Bitcoin everywhere. And it's kind of the reverse beggar. We wanted to tell the message that no matter how much money you have, if that's all you're pursuing, you'll never be happy. And so, unless you're rich in your soul and rich in your heart, wealth is a hungry beggar. And we were surprised by the reaction that we got because snow often translates for little kids.
Yeah.
And so it's usually the bears and the comical things that will get the attention for people's choice. And we had so many people come to us and say that the sculpture really resonates with them and that they were glad we were telling, that we had a message, a broader message. And as an artist who works in this very ephemeral form, it's really heartening to be able to convey something larger than ourselves and be part of a bigger conversation.
It's certainly a powerful piece of art, and the choice to use Bitcoin as the form of currency I thought was a very topical and interesting way to create this sculpture. You have brought with you, and we mentioned that there was a Mongolian team, one of the tools that you used to make this sculpture. Tell us about this tool and where you got it from.
So this tool is it's an extend-a-pole. Think about like a snow rake that you'd put on your roof, but it's made out of hand-carved wood and it pieces together so you can travel with it. And it has different lengths, so depending on where, if you're on the top of the block and you're working down, you can get down 6 or 7 or 8 feet. And if you're moving in, you can get to the center of the block. But on top of it is the chalice of snow sculpture. It's a multi-pronged trident of force. I don't know how else to describe it.
It's got more than try in its dent. It's probably like
it's toothed like a saw, but the teeth are deep, and like the way that it's incredibly sharp. We have to be pretty delicate with this.
Yeah, this thing it's a beast. And so I have one that has a black handle that we call the Black Mamba, and this is going to be some kind of albino snake, but the head of it has such a bite. So this stuff just rips through the snow. And it's a wonderful feeling when you can debulk a sculpture in half the time that you normally would. And so these are prized tools, and they're hard to come by. And I think as part of this exchange that we have with the other artists comes, we don't speak the same language at all. We speak a language of snow, and it's something we all understand, the intricacies of the snow and how it melts and how it morphs and what it can withstand. And there's a lot of tool envy that happens and so we're constantly pushing each other to develop new tools because there's nothing made specifically for snow sculpture. And so this is like the Nimbus 2000 of snow sculpting tools. And I was privileged enough to have the Mongolian team gift it to me.
Is the head of this one, which is about like 7-ish inches, like 7-ish, is it smaller or wider than the other one that you have?
This is 7.87 inches, 20 centimeters. And I have a number of different heads, and they're all, this one that you're looking at is curved. There are some that are straight. There are some that have larger ridges on the side so that you have a very balanced pass. So you can do, what's nice about it is it's all about balance. It's kind of the Karate Kid of, when he does the swan thing.
The crane
technique.
technique.
The crane technique.
You're speaking my language, yeah.
So it's the same thing because it's all about where your hand is positioned on the rod. And so you can get a very clean, straight line with no edges coming off of it, but you can also do the most beautiful curves with it. And it's kind of counterintuitive because it looks like it's a very straight tool.
Yeah, it looks like a garden edger almost with like some mean, nasty-looking teeth on it. But I love that it came to you from the Mongolians, who then paid tribute to the indigenous people of this continent with their snow sculpture that you can see on all of the sites for the Breckenridge International Snow Sculpture Championship, or on Dave Rothstein's Facebook, where there's amazing videos and sculptures on there. What I remember before I even knew you were going to these competitions to do this is that you, in your Florence backyard in Massachusetts, would build an igloo and then put a bar in the igloo and then welcome all the neighbors over to come drink cocktails in this igloo that you created in the backyard. Is that where you kind of got involved in the beginnings of artistic snow sculpture to this level?
No, but that was a very fun time. And for the record, it was by invite only. It was not open to the public. I was not serving minors.
Okay, good.
But it was fun. It was another way. All of this is about, breaking cabin fever and having people appreciate winter and not be drummed down by it.
Right.
I started back in 1998 when I was living in Alaska. We had a 2-week festival, and during that festival you have a choice of, if you want to participate, of 100 different activities. By the time I figured out what I wanted to do, the great outhouse race, where you build your own outhouse and put it on skis, and then you stick someone in a costume inside and drag them around this giant...
This is real?
This is real, yeah. That and-
Seriously, make fairy tales.
You live a fairy tale life. Yeah.
Well, it was canceled because they couldn't find a sponsor to pay for the liability insurance. So I signed up for snow sculpture, and I fell in love, and I've been doing it ever since.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful, and it's something everyone can do.
Yes.
I wasn't a trained artist. I'm not a trained artist. Sometimes I don't even think of myself as an artist. I'm an enthusiast. I love winter. But anyone can go outside and fill a cardboard box with snow and tamp it down and remove it and start with a blank canvas or a refrigerator box or fill a...
Is that the pro tip? Like, you make a snow person or whatever in your yard, a snowman, you roll up the balls and you put 3 on top of each other. That comes out okay sometimes. But if you want to make like a real sculpture, pack it tight. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, have some kind of form. Like it could be a garbage barrel that you hollow out the bottom and just stuff it, stick your kid in there and jam them up and down until it's compressed, and then peel it off. And you can use a spoon, or you can use the knife, or you can buy the giant Mongolian moil.
It's compacting it. That gives you the right amount of density to actually work with it and come up with something else out of it. So.
I could talk to you about this all day, Dave Rothstein, but we have to get to the rest of the show here. Congratulations again, first of all, on the beggar and this beautiful sculpture. And we'll post pictures on our social media so you can see it. It's won 3 awards at the Breckenridge International Snow Sculpture Championship. But I want to know, why do they destroy these sculptures when it's over? I saw the video of them taking like a bulldozer and knocking them all down.
Well, it's funny because I actually like that part because it's all going to go anyways back to the water cycle. It's sad to see them go, but the DPW does so much work to put those blocks together that they actually have a little lottery to see who gets to knock them down, which I think is really cute. And
I love that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's ephemeral. Beautiful things don't last a long time. We have to appreciate them.
If you're ever driving in Florence and there's a little bit of snow on the ground and you see this artistic snow shoveling on a driveway, the chance that it's Dave Rothstein's house is high. If he has an igloo there in a bar in the backyard and it's snowing, it's
Ask
him.
first.
But you need permission to go there. Invite only.
Get out and enjoy winter.
Yes.
Dave Rothstein, the gold medal snow sculptor, thank you so much for joining us once again.
Absolutely my pleasure.
Later in the show for Live Music Friday, we'll bring you the penultimate performance of the East Hampton band, the Colony Motel, who will perform their swan song at Luthier's in East Hampton this evening.
But up next, we'll head over to State Street in Northampton and taste 2 wines from the early part of this millennium, which was allegedly 2 decades ago.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
Old wine. Ooh. Yeah, we're
Not new stuff.
No, we don't need any of this. It's like the opposite of the jerk, right?
Yes, but no more 1966. Let's splurge. Bring us some fresh wine, the freshest you've got. This year's. No more of this old stuff.
Oui, monsieur.
It's sort of the gift that keeps on giving. I keep coming down here and opening up boxes and walking into the office and be like, did you know about this? You know, the wine sounds like, what? Where did that come from? I'm like, I don't know, it was behind a bunch of boxes. Oh, for the love of Pete, you know, so we're tasting them. You know, we've definitely had some bad ones.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been a nice adventure, and it's been nice to sort of be able to present this to the public and get people interested in being patient with their wines.
We're in the wine bunker deep below State Street Fruit Store, Deli Wines and Spirits, the birthplace of the Wine Thunderdome, with the Wine Sun and the Yankee Sippa, who we referenced before because you at least were part of the Champneys Mug Club for a
Yeah, I still am. Oh,
went to
you guys
Champneys.
went there.
Yeah.
That is one of our hideouts, so thanks for blowing up the spot. No, we go there so we don't have to see anyone we know.
Nobody? Go there.
No, Champneys is wonderful. The people who run it are wonderful. We call it Mug Club. My partner goes, you want to go to Mug Club? I go, yes, we go to Mug Club. And I drink a gigantic Guinness. And at the end of the year, I get to leave with will be now my 4th ceramic mug.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they're really nice here, and the food's great, and they also have a gluten-free fryer, so if you are in the same boat that we're at, hit them up.
We tasted, Khalees and I, a 1947 Rioja Reserva. So
Wow.
we're going to drink old wine, but not quite that old.
No. It's not that old. We have had a lot of attention being paid to some of the older vintages. So most of this stuff is stuff that was bought by the wine mother.
Who was the woman who led me down my road to wine snobbery? Judy O'Brien was a pioneer in this area, especially for women that was like running a wine shop of this caliber and taught me everything I know. And I think a decade and a half ago, I probably had both of these wines with her.
I'm sure that this is true. She would have been excited about both of them when they came in, and rightfully so. But it's going to be really fun to revisit them because Yankee Sippa and I spent New Year's Eve here working the store and selling champagne all night. And while the fireworks were going off, we actually opened one of these O2 Finca Sandovals, which we're going to try right now. And we were like, people need to know about this wine. Oh my God, it's so good. So hopefully we have a bottle of equal caliber. So we're going to try Finca Sandoval 2002 from Mantuela, and it's predominantly Syrah with just a little bit of Monastrell. And then we're also going to try from Australia, Molly Duker's Blue-Eyed Boy from the 2007 vintage.
That Finca could itself drink in this year of our Lord
Yeah, that's so
2024.
We joked about that too, because we were like, it's old enough to drink. And we mean that not
Double
by...
entendre.
Yeah.
Like it has, if you check its license, it's old enough to drink.
Make that man an entendre and make it a double.
Oldest to youngest is oftentimes a good way to go, right? If you're going to decide what to drink first.
Yeah, so if these wines were new, we would definitely do the Spanish and then the Australian, because Australian Shiraz tends to be that really big fruit forward. I'm expecting a fair amount of the fruit to have dropped out on this. I think we're still going to drink the Spanish one first.
This winemaker was actually a really well-known and really well-respected. Victor de la Serna was a writer and a bon vivant and decided to become a winemaker. He thought Syrah would do better in this region than the other things that people were growing. The cuttings for this are actually from Châteauneuf-du-Pape. That's even more interesting to me. They were like, sure, take some of our CDP cuttings and bring them to Spain. The southern part of Mantuela has a lot more of a Mediterranean influence, and the northern part of Mantuela is has more of a continental.
The page I was looking at to brush up on this called it harsh continental.
Harsh. It's not like your average French person.
It's like when you go down in the hotel and they've just got like Lucky Charms and like some toast.
Harsh continental.
It's a harsh continental you
Those
provided
scrambled
for us.
eggs that can double as popcorn. You can just like gumballs, you can bounce them off.
Have you ever seen the Saturday Night Live skit with Billie Eilish and Kate McKinnon about the hotels?
And breakfast means morning here at Business Garden Inn and Suites and Hotel Room Inn.
Fill up on all your continental breakfast favorites like
Wet egg.
Anyway, let's open up the Finca Sandoval. Uh-oh.
The Asso.
For the listeners of NEPM and the Fabulous 413, this is the first time we've experienced this particular opening, although it was referenced in the 1947 bottle opening. If you have an old cork, there is a tool that can help you open them that looks a little bit like tweezers or maybe like chopsticks that are attached together, and it is called
An asso.
How dare you, my friend?
Accurate.
It's just fun to say. So you put it around the edge of the cork with the two
I
tweezer
really should
things.
have been filming this.
And then you slowly but surely grasp it.
Ooh, that looks
Nice.
solid.
Pull it right out. You did it perfect, wine son.
I've been adventuring through old wine for a little while now.
You've been practicing with your asso for a long time.
Sure have.
It's called, that's the name of the opener, everybody. It's not my fault that that's how language works. This one, the Finca Sandoval, smells magnificent.
Holy smokes.
Oh, yeah.
I just got the chills.
Oh, and it's got that little funk at the end of the nose.
Yeah.
But remember, this is Spanish. It's not French. So the other thing we were talking about, we looked at the latitude lines and realized that this is kind of like a Northern Rhone.
In the harsh continental.
cereal and gumball machine.
DIY waffle.
Sausage that squirts.
Despite the harsh continental climate conditions, it is at 2,400 feet of elevation. It gets some benefit to the cool nights there.
Harsh Continental sounds like a Pavement song.
Yeah. I'm getting a little pavement in the nose as well.
Thanks, Stephen Malkmus.
There's like a little bit of cassis too going on. Like
I got like a funk beef.
Sorry, I thought you said you were in a funk because you had a beef with somebody.
No. I finally watched Beef, though, that multiple Emmy award-winning show. It was great.
You started this.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, you're the one who backed into me like a psycho.
You're the one that flipped me off.
Are you guys leaving, or are you just gonna sit there?
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Say it again! I dare you to say it again!
Yeah.
Also, should I say the beef in the...
No, please.
You don't want the Sam Elliott beef again?
No.
Come on.
Come on.
Chateaubriand.
It should be
Catalonian beef ragu.
I think this bottle's better than the one we opened prior.
Ah, good. Save the best for us.
This must have been so much funkier.
Oh, yeah.
So much more barnyard 20 years ago.
The thing that bothers me most about it is that 2002 was 22 years ago.
I procured some cheese from the deli. One of the things it suggested for Syrah and Shiraz both was specifically Beecher's cheddar.
And you have.
And that's what we've got.
You have
Excellent.
cheese sticks of Beecher's
I
cheddar.
do, I know.
And Baby Bells as well.
Yeah, well, Gouda was
Gouda's
fifth
always-
on the list of 10 cheeses to pair with it.
I also love chewing the wax on those.
What?
On the Baby
do
Bells.
you like mini wax lips? You like the
I
little-
love that.
the little
Oh, yeah.
duck
It's so
lips?
gratifying.
We would always just use them as like sculpting material.
Remember the nickel nips?
Uh-uh.
Wax bottles?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
I never
yeah.
called them those.
Yeah.
That's the official name of them.
Uh-huh.
With indeterminate colored liquid.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you
Wax,
can't even
yeah.
really tell what color the liquid is inside. The wax is so thick.
Yeah, right.
Like you're like literally just eating wax. I'm gonna eat this candle.
He's apparently fine with that.
I am.
It's fiber.
I didn't swallow it.
It's the opposite.
Not all of it.
Heather swallows it.
Okay, the first wine, once again.
Finca Sandoval from Manchuela, Spain. Over 90% Syrah, under 10% Mourvedre.
Syrah stolen from
Nice.
France and brought to Spain.
From Chateauneuf du Pape, you know, that's the other
And
cool thing.
not inexpensive.
No, it's at least a grant.
Not a grand. A grant. Granton is Buddy Lincoln.
That's Lincoln.
I know how to spell Lincoln.
So the next one, this one is a little bit younger. What year is this again?
This is 2007, Blue-Eyed Boy Shiraz from Australia.
So we'll call it Shiraz.
Shiraz from Molly Duker. Molly Duker is a Australian euphemism for left-handed people. It is a blend of 80% McLaren Vale. Most people recognize the name Barossa Valley. McLaren Vale is sort of the next really well-known Shiraz territory of Australia.
I remember drinking this with the wine mother or going through the Molly Duker wines years and years ago. One of them was so intense you were told you should shake it before you drink it.
Yeah.
They called it the Molly Duker shake.
That's still on their website.
I mean, this nose is pretty intense.
It is intense.
It can
This
be
is funkier than the other one.
Yeah, it is.
Should be noted also that this is a pretty early adoption stealth enclosure.
Screw cap.
They were putting a stealth enclosure on this at a time when we really had no idea what the impact on ageability would be with stealth enclosures. So nice to say that, you know, if anything, it allows for less evolution of the wine. So
Yeah.
we're probably closer to its original state than we otherwise would have been.
Because A, real cork can sometimes have a taint that will taint the wine. And B, even if you have a cork-like product, sometimes the wiggle room in there makes oxygen get in and kind of could ruin the wine.
Products are like made out of weird stuff.
Yeah, like those little plastic bottles with liquid in them and you want to chew them.
Yeah.
Even an untainted cork is going to allow for some seepage of oxygen over time. In a lot of ways, that's a good thing. It's not like people started laying down wine so that they could remember some year way back when. It was like, this is way too harsh to drink.
Yeah.
So we're going to drink the old stuff and we'll wait for this to mellow out.
Just like humans themselves.
The fact that wines with screw caps
Stealth enclosures.
have proven themselves to continue to be age-worthy is a great thing for the industry because we're not reliant on cork.
There is no more cork. You know, it doesn't grow that fast. People don't know where cork comes from. It's a tree. They basically peel layers and layers off of it, and they leave it alone, and then it grows more. Unfortunately, the demands for wine, you don't get to get all that cork.
I get similar notes on the nose, though. There's
Definitely.
a much more pronounced tar with this one, but it's there.
I think there's a bigger fruit.
Yep.
Yes.
Like there's all the stank plus
just
and then
wait
fruit.
till it
Big.
hits your
Like,
mouth.
it makes the other one seem super subdued.
It's a huge jammy presentation on this wine, and it has not lost a thing.
Yeah.
It's almost got like this brandy-ish note.
Boy is mine.
And not heat from the wine. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of heat in this wine.
Oh, I
No.
do.
Do you not? Yeah.
14.8%
any guesses?
alcohol.
There's a good guess.
Yeah.
What is it?
Anybody else? 16.5.
Holy
Whoa!
crap! This is almost fortified.
By itself.
Okay, well that explains the brandy notes.
Impossible.
Massive rich blackberry.
Oh, definitely.
Rich blackberry.
Oh yeah, this is a fruit bomb.
There was a period of time when I was starting my road to wine snobbery, around 2008, I believe, where Australian Shiraz was like all the rage. Like everybody wanted this in-your-face, big, explosive fruit bomb from Australia. And so if that's still what you like, you are going to like this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, that was so true of that time period. Those wines were so unstoppable.
The fruit is huge, but it's not so huge that you're just like dying in a jam bomb.
No, but if you want something, like if you're going to make like a blue cheeseburger or something like that
nice
with
call.
onions,
Nice
like,
call.
and this, you're going to have the most decadent experience.
Onion tartane.
Yeah, there we go. Something like that.
Yeah. Savory tartanes, man. Get on it.
This Blue-Eyed Boy is also obviously unfiltered.
Ah, right. And also, not inexpensive.
Nope. Also more than a grant.
They are the same price? They are the same price.
They're the same Grant and Friend.
Lincoln, right? Isn't that the friend?
Grant and Lincoln wines for Black History Month. We did it, everyone. We're free now.
All of our problems
We really
are
know how to.
solved.
We're so progressive. My gut conscience is clear.
It is time to choose in the Wine Thunderdome.
Oh.
We've got 2002 Finca Sandoval, predominantly Syrah. We've got the 2007 Molly Duker, Blue-Eyed Boy, predominantly Shiraz. Both older wines.
It almost is like the nature versus nurture argument with kids. Like we're talking about grapes.
Yeah.
There are similarities that you can't take away from the grape, and the terroir is what makes the ultimate difference. So both of these have a little bit of tar and tobacco. Both of them have a little bit of cassis and blackberry. Both of them have a little bit of like a black pepper spicy quality to it. But the way that those interact with each other and the different volumes of those flavors is what comes out in the terroir and the age and the winemaking.
Yeah, and winemaker influence is always the thing too.
Anybody have a clear vote to go with?
I have a clear vote. I vote for the Finca Sandoval.
I second your vote.
I third.
It's a clean sweep.
Yeah.
Clean sweep.
Finca Sandoval.
It's excellent.
They're both excellent.
The 16% alcohol one, Blue-Eyed Boy.
They were learning. They were still in their early days.
Yeah. On the coldest of winter nights, with the heartiest of hearty foods, that is exactly what I'm going to want to drink. And I remember being holed up in the Hotel Northampton during a snowstorm, watching the Grammys, and being close enough to the radio station that I could walk. And I got a bottle of wine like this, and like some Italian smoked meats.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. I want to live this life of decadence and get gout tonight.
More foie gras.
Live your dreams, live your dreams. Up next, it's Live Music Friday with a band who will call it quits after they play their final show at Luthier's Co-op in East Hampton tonight. Like tonight. We'll say farewell to the Colony Motel.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
Then put your little hand in mine.
Welcome back to the Fabulous 413 this Groundhog Day. I'm Monty Belmonte.
And I'm Khalees Smith. The Colony Motel lurks in an East Hampton basement, or so it says on the band's Facebook page.
To paraphrase Amy Wilkinson from the band, the Colony Motel is playing their album release / Goodbye Forever show at Luthier's on Groundhog Day, or I guess Groundhog Night, tonight.
A little over a year ago, Colony Motel recorded an album called Anywhere, Montana. They played a few shows, built some hype, saw some great things on the horizon, and then quit.
Tonight, they're dusting off the tunes and playing a final hurrah, Last Wall style, except without the celebrity guests.
It's going, says you.
Says Amy. We're paraphrasing still.
It's going to be the last chance for denizens of the Fabulous 413 to catch the Colony Motel doing that crazy thing they do so well.
We welcome to the Fabulous 413 and Live Music Friday, Brian Brown, Amy Wilkinson, Casey Rue, Mark Schmidtline, and Sean Gunderson, who very frequently is here in the building fixing stuff for NEPM.
At buildings across Western Mass. He fixes things at the Schaefer, you too.
He fixes things at the Schaefer all the time, and now he's fixing to play some bass for the Colony Motel. Let's hear a song from the Colony Motel this Live Music Friday.
Stranded Sophia, gotta keep the cold off my guitar. Cafe on the Tosha, got a communist black noir. There's a man in a tracksuit at the bar looking over and when I let you take me home, I know I'm gonna see him again. But I'm beat up and broken and dying for a plate of beans and eggs. And I can't get my mind off the tattoos on the back of your legs. I know if I go with you, it'll be my demise. Despite the invitation to the warmth of your thighs, she time bleached blonde, too used to telling lies. I tell you I'm a trouble while you sip a clouded glass of no. Lipstick lipstick on your cigarette tells me everything I wanted to know. Heaven knows I wish that I was left with a safer choice. Drunk on Johnny Walker and the sharp smoky lip to your voice. A fake fur jacket and a naugahyde booth. Everything about you ain't telling the truth. A half-eaten plate of mayonnaise and fries. The way you hold your cigarette in front of your eyes. She time bleached blonde. See through every one of your lies. My promoter took the cash and she canceled the tour. But if you touch my arm again and curl your lip, I'll close my eyes and dive into your sinking ship. 'Cause I'm beat up and broken and died for a plate of beans and eggs. And I can't get my mind off my hands on the back of your legs. I know if I go with you, it'll be my demise. Despite the invitation to the warmth of your thighs. She time bleached blonde, I don't care what all this implies. She time bleached blonde, I'm gonna fall for all of your lies.
The Colony Motel, who will call it a quits after playing Luthier's Co-op tonight. Brian, who is the lead vocalist on that particular song, tell us about why the Colony Motel was formed and why this is the end.
Well, so Mark, the drummer, and I, we started the band back a long time ago. We had sort of a different format. But basically, met the rest of these guys at open mics in Florence. Gundy is now the fearless leader of that open mic.
Yeah.
It used to be Alex from the Stuntmen.
F. Alex Johnson, now in Japan.
Now in Japan, correct. Yeah, and so, yeah.
Big in Japan, actually.
Yeah,
He's big in
is.
Japan.
He is big in Japan.
Whole new band in Japan.
Yeah, it's fun to watch him doing stuff in Japan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've been playing music together a long time, and this sort of happened. We're calling it quits because I was shopping at Savers, in West Springfield, and I ran into a warlock in the women's raincoat department. He said terrible things would happen if we played a song after Groundhog's Day on 2024.
Wow.
So, who am I to question a warlock, I guess.
Have you talked to Dave Rothstein, who carved out a pumpkin and paddled it down the river, and then went to Colorado to carve a sculpture called The Beggar to make us look deep inside of ourselves to what's important? He may be able to break this curse.
And frankly, all of my years of D&D playing informed me to think that you should maybe question warlocks more.
All right. Yeah. Well, I feel like the pumpkin guy can give me courage, so.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes, but we got a gig tonight, and it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, he's coming, by the way. We forgot to get him to shamelessly plug you, but he was so excited because he was going to come see you tonight at Luthier's Co-op in East Hampton, right there on Cottage Street.
You say that your format changed, but what's changed about it? Just the people involved or the sound itself?
Yeah, it was sort of like a rock kind of three-piece, more of a punk rock thing, and we settled into this. I was playing music with all these guys individually, and then it just kind of... We're like, well, we should make this all come together.
Coalesce.
And it's fantastic. It's been amazing. And whatever, these are my friends. We'll still all be playing music together forever.
Yay.
Can we talk a little bit about the open mic and what that has become and what it meant even throughout the course of the pandemic? Who wants to take that one?
Oh, my
Amy?
goodness.
I don't know.
Well, I started going to that open mic something like 5-6 years ago. sporadically and then more and more regularly. And I mean, for me, I've now joined like 3 different bands through that. I have met my partner through that, and both musically and in life, and my best friend and these clowns. It's a pretty amazing community. And Casey, you might want to talk about the pandemic and how that changed things.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So Sean started hosting the open mic after Alex moved to Japan, and then the pandemic hit. And we had such a community, and we really nobody quite knew what to do. And so we thought, well, why don't we try doing it on Facebook Live? So that first week after lockdown, we did a Facebook Live pandemic show where we would kind of put breadcrumbs out. So one person, we would open the night. Our duo is 2-5. We would do the opening. Then we would pass it on to the next person and the next and the next and next. 77 weeks we did live, Facebook Live. And so it went from being, like an open mic. You're lucky if you get like 20, 30 people there on any given night. But we would have like 1,000 views every week. It was wild. And then we would go outdoors to to Sean's shop, the backyard or the shop. We were like hobos out by the railroad tracks there on Bradford Street in the industrial park in Northampton. But it sounds
there were barrel fires.
There were
legal
literally.
if they're a cook fire anytime you want.
Yeah. We had hot dogs somewhere in the building.
It actually turned out that, I mean, I know it sounds crazy to say, but I feel like we are some of the only people that I know of who came out on the other side of the pandemic, the lockdown part of it in particular, with a stronger community than we went into. It's really become a very, really just a beautiful family in a lot of ways.
It was amazing as somebody on the outside to watch it and participate on Facebook so many times over the course of those long 77 weeks.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, let's take a little break right here, and then we'll come back and hear more from the Colony Motel, who are playing their last show tonight at Luthier's Co-op in Cottage Street in East Hampton.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
Welcome back to the Fabulous 413. I'm Monty Belmonte.
And I'm Clee Smith.
And we're here with Brian Brown, Amy Wilkinson, Casey Rue, Gundy, and Mark Schmidtline, who are the Colony Motel, who will play their final performance at Luthier's Co-op in East Hampton on Cottage Street tonight. Let's hear another Live Music Friday song from the Colony Motel.
Sliding doors outside, diamond shimmer, reflections covering your eyes. Freckles on your shoulder glisten in the sunlight. Sip your drink and clink your eyes. Step inside my Chevy tonight. Pull those heavy doors shut tight. Stay like this for all our lives. Everything tastes like pulsing quasars. Every grin just takes me further in. Coca-Cola, tongue is tied like camel eyes. Chaparral, diesel, fume, Impala, pick a spot to spend the night. Pull those backseat blankets tight. Stars as sharp as diamond spikes. Give yourself and then your mind. Blood sings so clean, fogs the windscreen. Your breath, my neck is not on you. on the left side. Warm wind plays a silent ride. Your head on my shoulder, 1 foot out the window. Silver City by tonight. Joya blossoms burning bright. Sunrise continental divide. Your folks up for half the night. Girl, what could be if you'd gone with me? It's not too late, I'll pick you up tonight. The sliding doors outside, the diamond shamrock, reflections covering your eyes. Freckles on your shoulder, glisten in the sunlight. Sip your drink and clink your eyes. Step inside my Chevy tonight. Pull those heavy doors shut tight. Stay like this for all our
Woohoo! The Colony Motel, this live music Friday here on the Fabulous 413.
Doing a song that definitely sounds like Goodbye.
Yeah. Sad that you guys are saying goodbye tonight at Luthier's Co-op, your final show ever.
But that said, like, how does this project differ from other projects that you've done together or outside? What will you miss?
The songs. I love the songs that we do in the Colony Motel.
I love singing with these two.
I don't know, though. You know, like hearing that Dave Rothstein is going to be at the show.
He may be able to bring his wizard magic.
I don't know if anyone can. It's Dave Rothstein. So that's all I can say about that.
All right.
Put the warlock in a pumpkin and send him down the river.
Yeah, he's already done it. Is he clearing the way? For those who don't know about the Colony Motel, tell us why that you're called the Colony Motel.
Oh, sure. So I grew up locally, and the Colony Motel used to be a very shady side-of-the-road motel in Whately, right near Tom's Hot Dogs, if you're familiar.
Yeah.
And if you could pay $2, you could ride your bike down Route 5, and you could swim in their pool. And so I have all these beautiful sort of innocent childhood memories of swimming in this pool while probably there were like weapons deals and basically the plot of the movie Blow. 100 feet away from me.
Yeah. It reminds me of the Hot L Warren, which is not far from the Colony Motel, another legendary place like that. With it's called the Hot L because the E fell off the sign, so everybody refers to that Deerfield establishment as the Hot L Warren, which is still a great place to go get a drink at the bar.
Well, our friend Soren found the old sign for the Colony Motel out in the middle of the woods, and somebody's using it as a gate.
Upside down.
Did you take a picture of it for your album or anything like that?
There are some photos of it going around. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in. We're gonna we'll miss having you as a band altogether, but we're excited to see what will happen to you in the future, in your future endeavors.
And frankly, this is a goodbye, but it's a celebration of an album, which is a good time to remind everybody it's Bandcamp Friday. So if you were thinking about picking it up, this is a great day to do so.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. This and all the other wonderful local bands we have here on Live Music Friday. Thank you so much, Colony Motel.
It's our pleasure. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have a great show tonight. It's going to be awesome.
Next week, a little local Black history with the Nelson Legacy Project, talking about the lives of Wally and Juanita Nelson, who made their home on Woman Hill in Deerfield.
Billions of folks will celebrate the Lunar New Year, and we'll talk to author, illustrator, and Newbery Award winner Grace Lynn about their event at Bombix that will celebrate it.
We'll look into the lasting economic repercussions of slavery and the hope of reparations with the folks behind the documentary The Cost of Inheritance, which will get a screening here at the NEPM studios.
Plus, we'll explore restorative economic futures and creative equity with the folks from Reset in Pittsfield.
Given that it is Groundhog Day, we will relive this exact day all over again tomorrow.
That is upsetting.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about doing that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and if you were wondering why we keep playing Sonny and Cher's...
No, don't ruin the... No, that they
don't
have
ruin
to figure
it?
Yeah, don't
figure
ruin
it out.
Yeah.
Leave it a mystery. I'm Monty Belmonte.
I am Khalees Smith. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone. We will see you on Monday.
I got to wear my ring.